and just the right amount of sarcasm. We're pulling back the curtain on the industry. We are talking to the experts, the educators, the innovators, and the everyday clinicians who are out there doing all the work. There's no fluff, there's no filter, and there's definitely no sales pitches disguised as education. If it's happening in dentistry, from clinical insights to regulatory curveballs, or maybe it's the latest scandal at the ADA, we are probably already talking about it. And yes, we are bringing the goods. So it doesn't matter if you're a seasoned doc, anyone in the dental industry for that matter. Maybe you're a curious consumer, or maybe you're just here for the banter. We welcome you all to the show, because around here, we're not just in the loop, we are in the know. Hey, everyone, I'm Dr. Jeff Horowitz, and I am accompanied, as always, by two of my favorite people in the world, two great clinicians, educators, and business owners, Dr. Jennifer Bell and Dr. Chad Duplantis. Together, the three of us created this humble little platform to make the dental world a little smaller, but a whole lot more fun. Today, we have a great guest, Dr. Corey Anolik. The show is sponsored by Align iTero. We're thankful to our educational partner and really excited to kind of demystify what's going on with aligner therapy these days. So that's going to be our show tonight, but cheers to all of you, my friends. Good to see you again on a Wednesday night. What's happening?
What is your cheers? A thumb?
Yes, I had intended to have a beverage. However, I do not. So when you're doing the news, I will go grab a beverage.
This is where you go, Ellen.
Yeah. Here, Chad, hold your glass out.
Yeah, I usually text her and tell her to bring me something, but I'm good right now.
This is where in person is superior to podcasting.
I agree.
Because we would never let you go dry, Chad. Never.
Yes, I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much.
Here we are nonetheless.
Yeah.
What's happening in the dental world for you guys?
Okay,
I
got to talk about my post today. So I think people think I'm spiraling. So I just want to set the record straight. So this morning I was listening to, are you guys familiar with Mike Rowe?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I love Mike Rowe. Dirty Jobs.
I do too. He was on a recent podcast.
Great voice.
And he's an incredibly intelligent person. Very interesting. You know, he was an opera singer, which is not surprising.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
when you hear his voice, though, does that surprise? Like, he's got this most beautiful.
He's got a great voice,
timbre to his voice, and obviously his passion project now is to backfill all of these open jobs within the trades industry, and that's his thing. But he said something, and I was listening to it on my way to work today, and he suffers from the same disease that I suffer from, which is curiosity to the point of
killing the cat.
No cats involved. Although I do use that phrase a lot. No, I've been in dentistry 20 years now, and I'm not satisfied. I'm not satiated yet. I haven't consumed all that I want to know and all that I want to understand. The curiosity and the desire to continue to want to be better hasn't ended. And so I'm curious, and was curious, thinking, and he talked about that. He said, the more I learn and I get into one subject matter, the more I realize super fast that I need to know more about this subject matter. And I felt the same way listening to his podcast. He referenced a couple of different things. I was like, oh, I need to go read that. And I need to learn and understand. And so I was curious, because I feel this way a lot in dentistry. The more I learn, and even in reflecting back on my own work, in a post that I had this week, I look at it, I'm like, there's a lot of things about it that I did great. There's a lot of things about it I want to keep doing better. And so where is that? How do we deal with that as clinicians? And is that unique to dentists? Because I'm going to hate on the MDs right now. I don't get that same vibe from them. They're not curious and creative and insatiable. Literally,
it almost seems like exactly the opposite, JB. It almost seems like they get into their little cocoon, and I hate to generalize like that.
I'm sure there's some good ones out there.
Oh, I know, of course there are, but they get into their specialty areas, and they're just so hyper focused within their specialty that it's almost like they're not allowed to think beyond that system, right?
Yeah.
Beyond that part of the body, where I guess with dentistry, so much is impacted by what we do orally, and so much of what happens in the body impacts what we're doing, that we really don't have a choice but to be curious about that if we want to perform at a high level.
I have a tendency to agree.
No.
Yeah. Do you have that tendency?
I do.
But think about this. How long have we all known each other? And we're all the same way. The three of us are the people who are like going, God, I want to go to that course. I want to go to that course. I want to go to that course.
It's relentless.
It's the people teaching that are also wanting to go and learn more so that they can themselves be better teachers, right?
Yeah. Anyway, I thought I would put it out there because then I started. So number one, I put it out there, and I think people thought I was like spiraling on my way to work, but I wasn't really. I just was curious how other clinicians deal with that, because I think a lot of people in our group suffer from a similar desire to constantly want to be better. And when I lecture and educate, and I'm out with other colleagues, like, I get the exact same vibe. They're there because they want to be better. They want to understand. They want to know. They want to perform. And I guess my takeaway from that would be, when that desire, need, want goes away, I probably should quit. Like, that probably should be the end of it. But the other thing that I thought was
the definition of burnout, when you
correct.
just don't care anymore.
Yeah. The other thing I thought about, though, was characteristics or qualities that should be included in the interview process for dental school, because I think curiosity, creativity, problem solving, don't you think those should be part of, like, we should give them a Rubik's Cube or something, just see how far they go? I don't know, like, some ability to see how well they handle situations that are uncomfortable and unknown. Creativity and curiosity, I think, are a really important part of the job.
Okay, now you're getting me on my soapbox.
Let's go.
I think communication skills and listening should be part of dental school curriculum.
100%.
I think that there should be a lot more personality profiling.
Agreed.
I think that this is totally a soapbox tangent, whatever you want to call it. I think that the younger age has lost touch with interpersonal communication, and the communication via the thumb communication is strong. And it really bothers me. It really, really bothers me, because you were a victim of this last week, Jennifer. Our producer, who I happen to know very well,
he's not on tonight.
Yeah, is absent because he went to the Paul Simon concert that he was gifted a ticket to, and God bless him. I told him that I would go to the Paul Simon concert too, but I told him that he needed to make a choice and that he needed to let his boss know. And he goes, "You are my boss." And I said, "No, I'm not your boss. Dr. Bell is your boss." However, I don't know that he did it this week, but last week or the 2 weeks ago when he missed, I know he damn sure did. What did I make him do?
Write sentences?
He called me.
I made him call her.
Today he did not call me.
Yeah, today he did not, because last night was a long conversation about numerous other things that I won't share with our regarding our producer.
I think that's fair. No need to air his dirty laundry.
Might be in regards to a credit card bill that said father is still responsible for, to a certain extent, doubled, maybe tripled last month. But we'll talk about that later. But the thing is,
this really is airing of grievances.
This is an airing of grievances.
These
Christmas.
These younger clinicians, we lack interpersonal communication in the younger age, and I think they may disagree with me, but in the end, they might agree with me, because they don't know how to pick up a phone. They don't know how to contact somebody, and that's troubling to me. I think there's certain things that we need to cover in school, and maybe it's just by and large personal interaction.
So this is a topic for another. I think we could
A
probably
whole
do a whole
episode.
episode
Yeah, I'm
because
sorry. I went
no,
off on a
but I
tangent, but
actually aired some concerns about this with both of you this week, that I think that there's a generation that, because they're not used to that human to human interaction, that anything that is not praise gets taken as a put that they don't. I guess they don't know how to analyze what's being said to them in a constructive way, as, oh, this is conversation. It's almost like it's taken as if it was a text, and like, I wonder what that's supposed to mean. Well, it means exactly what I just said to you. Let's talk eye to eye, look each other in the eye, and have a conversation. And I think that that's really a difficult thing for a lot of people now.
and you need to put AF after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
AF or yeah.
Well, now that all of our listeners who have been out in the world of living that are under 45 have unsubscribed, we'll keep going.
No, I think that there's some good lessons to be learned here, and
there's
hell
plenty
knows,
they would bitch about us as well. Let's be fair.
Let's create a new generation.
Yeah.
Gen COVID.
It's going to be a wild time.
Gen pandemic, because I think that really disrupted.
It just doesn't have a good ring to it. We're gonna have to wordsmith that. I understand the sentiment, but Gen pandemic is not Gen pan.
So you know what I think, guys?
I don't think.
Yeah,
I think we got a great guest, and Corey's waiting in the wings. I think we ought to let JB do some news and
all right,
bring Corey on. Sound good?
Right. I would love to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
I wonder if our producer is gonna take.
No, he's probably taking a nap or on his phone, because he's of that generation where. Guys, I am so happy to be back. It's been a bit of a reprieve, right? I was gone on vacation for a little bit. We had the holiday. So I am pumped to be back and bringing you the news. Please forgive my tardiness in bringing you the latest, up-to-date, vital information in the world of dentistry. 3 hard-hitting journalistic stories for this evening that we will digest together. The first, guys, I was kind of blown away by this. I get a lot of stories that come across my desk as if I'm some fancy reporter, of dentists doing a lot of, frankly, shitty things. Fraud, embezzlement, murdering people. I mean, like, there's a lot of things that's going on. But this one kind of took my breath away. So an ex-dental employee has just been charged with stealing over $900,000 over a 5-year period. Now, y'all know we've had multiple experts. I think it might be time to bring a few back on. We've had multiple experts on the show talking about embezzlement, key indicators that you should be looking for, how you can stay on top of your books to make sure that you don't have an employee taking money. But 900,000 is pretty legit. Like, she definitely was doing a pretty great job. She is now pleaded guilty to 5 counts of wire fraud. So essentially, she was using the company or the dental practice's funds to pay her credit card bills and was wiring that payment to pay off that debt. She began working in the practice in 2019, and over the next 5 years, she subsequently stole about $900,000. Now, you would think that'd be super obvious. $900,000 is nothing to snuff at, but I think for those who kind of figure out the way that the practice is being audited and the way it's being managed, they find a way to make it look right on paper. Anyway, friendly reminder, embezzlement is real and still very much happening. And in a world where people are worried about recession and the economics of it all, probably just a little bit more worrisome to be on guard. Where are my redheads out there? Now, as doctors and as doctors who perform anesthesia on a regular basis, you know the pain. The redhead walks in, It's time to get numb. Multiple anesthetic attempts just isn't successful. Well, can we just put a name to it finally? It's called the MC1R gene variant. Hello. And it's responsible for that red hair, but it's also co-expressed in neural pain. Finally, we can put a name to it. Finally, we can look at our redhead friends and say, it's not your fault. But as clinicians, we have to be aware that those individuals don't anesthetize the same. They have difficulty getting numb and often require higher dosages in order to do that. I genuinely feel for redheads. If, as I'm reading the story, they have to now come up with a redhead specific anesthesia. I've been advocating for this for a while. There has to be enough momentum in this particular area to help redheads so that they can be anesthetized, because this doesn't just express in the dental office. It's in the OR. It's in outpatient procedures. There's a lot of instances in which they experience an inordinate amount of pain because the anesthetics that have been made to work on 80 or 90% of the population just simply are not as effective for them. So I see you, redheads, and I'm advocating for new advancements in science. And the last one, you guys love a Delta Dental story, so I'm here to bring it to you. I'm a little delayed in this story, so it's probably not the first time you've heard it, but let me just get on my soapbox one more time. Delta Dental of California, you amaze me. You amaze me. We did a whole story about how the CEO is getting raise after raise after raise. We had so many comments about decreased reimbursements, dropping fees, and yet you double down again. You're not afraid. I applaud that. You say, you know what? No more paper checks, people. We're going EFT only. And if you demand a paper check, you will pay a fee. So now a weekly $15 fee will be imposed to all offices that receive checks. Now, here's the thing that I did not know. The Delta Dental of California enterprise, which this new check ordinance payment structure went into effect for, includes the following: Delta Dental of California, obviously, Delta Dental of the District of Columbia, Delta Dental of Pennsylvania, Delta Dental of West Virginia, Delaware, New York, and the Delta Dental Insurance Company of Alabama, Washington, D.C., Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, Montana, Nevada, Texas, and Utah. Sounded like I was just doing the state song. So it's not just Delta Dental of California. It's the whole enterprise of internetworking within that. The ADA is fighting to get this reversed, to say that with no timing, no responsiveness, no feedback from their customers, they just put this in place without any regard. And yet, the Delta Dental CEO continues to get handsomely rewarded for her work. And with that, that's the news.
I love it. Let's get a whole new thread of stuff about
I think she's going to sue me at this point.
Yeah. I got your back on this one.
I was thinking more along the lines of, I've been everywhere, man.
When I did all my states.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the kids singing the state song, but I was thinking more along the lines of, I've been everywhere, man, because Delta Dental's been everywhere, man, and they've breathed the mountain air, man, and they're more than we can stand, man.
Okay.
All righty then.
Sorry.
And we're done here.
All right. Who is going to introduce Dr. Anolik?
Dr. Bell is.
May I?
Yes, you may.
I'll introduce my dear friend Corey. So here's a funny story about Corey. And me.
Story about Corey?
A story about Corey.
A Corey story.
A Corey story.
Corey's been in the Align ecosystem way longer than I have. I'm a newbie. And oddly enough, he and I had never met until, 6 months ago? 8 months ago?
Yeah.
Like it's been very recent. Yet we're kind of swimming in the same pools. We're circling around the drain. Never
you can swim?
Met. What?
You can swim?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I was a lifeguard, but anyway. Anyway, but you know, when I met both of you, there's just that moment where you kind of have this like click, and you just know that this is now a person who's going to be in your circle forever. And that there is just the right kind of chemistry, definitely the right kind of sarcasm, the right kind of, yeah, a bit. But also the right amount of knowledge and expertise that you're like, this is also somebody I can learn a ton from, and is just a great addition to my little circle. Because again, I can't get enough continuing education. I cannot consume enough information. And so when I met Corey, it was kind of like that little click. So you guys know he graduated from dental school. He wouldn't be here probably if he wasn't. Here's the thing about Corey, a master clean checker. Master. I've seen him do a clean check in a speed in which is not even fathomable. His understanding of plastics and biomechanics, and honestly, his championship of GPs doing more ortho in their practices can only be matched by a few other individuals within the ecosystem. He has become a dear friend very quickly. And I'm just really honored that he took the time to come on our little show and spend a little time with us wearing his very, very famous bow tie. I'm going to tell you one additional thing about Corey because it's my show and I can. And then we're going to go from here. So it might have been one of the last times that Corey and I spoke together. Mike DeTola was with us. And Mike has gotten into ChatGPT as if ChatGPT is his new BFF, right, Corey? Like he asked ChatGPT.
Very, very true story.
Literally
uses
everything.
it for things that I would have never thought to use.
Thought of. So to Mike's credit, I actually then found myself also asking ChatGPT a lot of random questions because for instance, he talked about how he wanted to reorganize his closet. So he took a picture of his closet and put it in ChatGPT, and ChatGPT told him like all the clothes he should get rid of and like this whole purge thing. So Mike had gotten into the habit of yes, I'm going to tell the story. Mike had gotten into the habit of taking a picture of his outfit every day and putting it into ChatGPT for feedback. What do you think, Chat? Is this a great outfit for me to wear to go do the thing that I'm going to do? And Chat is brutal. And he said, be brutally honest. Don't sugarcoat anything for me. I want to know. And Chat would say like, maybe we should be doing a bolder color with a tie. Maybe we should pick a different pair of shoes, whatever. Okay. So we're sitting in the course and Mike goes, I ChatGPT'd my outfit. This is my feedback. I was like, oh, do me. Okay, so we take a picture of my outfit, and actually, honestly, Corey, like not a negative thing was said. I don't know.
No, because just like me, ChatGPT is scared of you.
Yeah, fair. Okay, so I got high praise for my boldness of colors, but my balance with the neutrals, like really kind of hit it out of the park. And that's rare for me because that's not really my expertise. Then I was like, well, let's do Corey. And then actually we were doing random people, but that's another story for another day.
This photo, for the record, was taken without my consent.
I think there's a lawsuit there.
That might be true.
Might be.
Corey, what did it say?
It started off with bold decisions.
Compliments.
It definitely sugarcoated it because I think even ChatGPT felt bad, but it definitely said that and it was incredible because it even commented on the color of my socks. It's like the pattern of your socks is clashing with the pattern of your bow tie, and you should really reconsider the number of patterns. It was not very nice. Like I could barely get on stage after that.
But it also said your jacket was too big and your shirt was too small.
Oh my gosh.
It did.
Did it tell you just to reconsider your whole life?
Yeah, like you should just end it now.
Pretty much. Which in fairness, you're lucky I'm still in front of the camera after listening to your story about Delta, really being there with you in the every time I look at a case I've completed, that when I put it in, I'm like, I'm the best dentist literally ever. And then they come back 6 months later and you look at it and you go, what baboon did that dental work? And you realize it was you.
Oh, it was me.
So right there with you. And Chad, the answer to your question for the COVID babies, or Jen, was it your question? They are officially, I think, coronials.
Coronial.
Coronials is the right answer.
Is that serious?
I don't know. That's what Wikipedia said.
No shit.
It's always right.
So,
all right.
Coronials.
Well, Wikipedia is awesome. I cite it in all of my lectures.
I mean, it seems like a pretty spot on name for them. So,
I like it better than Gen Pan.
Wikipedia is about to take a flying hike now that ChatGPT has evolved, right? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I can now get history from ChatGPT and an analysis of my outfit. Like, you can't get that from Wiki.
What else do you need?
Dude,
literally.
So I'll tell you all a funny story. I've become a huge fan of ChatGPT. Our producer and my son is not a huge fan of ChatGPT. We have this family golf pool, and since it is destroying the film industry, he refused to go to ChatGPT to pick his golfers for this weekend's British Open. I went to ChatGPT because I was filling out an application, and I was like, how many lectures have I had? And boom, it populates like all these ones that I've totally forgotten about. It's like, how many articles have I written? How many are peer reviewed? How many? I mean, it's scary how much it knows about you. I got this random thing the other day from the Mid-Atlantic Dental Conference that I'm or Mid-Continent, in St. Louis. Shit, I don't know. I got this random.
I hope they're all listening right now.
Yeah. I got these random 3 questions that they asked me with no prompt. I plugged the 3 questions into ChatGPT. I'm reading the answers and I'm like, holy crap. It is scary how much it knows about you.
Yeah. Corey, do you feel the same way?
Yeah. So I'm trying to learn how to utilize AI more, and you can go super deep down this wormhole, and I've used it to draft some stuff for me, but you start with telling it what you want. And I tell it that I'm an expert in, let's say, Invisalign or clear aligners. I'm trying to write a slide deck or something towards this presentation. When it's done laughing at the fact that I call myself an expert or number one, you tell it, I don't want you to make anything up. Only use the information I give. Use this tone of voice. It starts to talk like you. It's a little bit creepy. I'm wondering if it's going to start insulting me about my outfits in my own sarcasm.
In your own inner voice? Like your own, like,
what if Alexa joins in?
Oh God,
right?
I need everything in my house.
Then you're getting teamed on.
I don't like her.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and say,
I don't like her. What if my ChatGPT starts ganging up on your ChatGPT?
It could.
So
that's possible.
Guys, let's pretend there's no such thing as ChatGPT. Let's say that there's no internet and everybody wants to know who this Dr. Corey Anolik is. Tell us your story as if ChatGPT couldn't give us the answer.
So we're going Encyclopedia Britannica style.
Yeah.
Not Wikipedia style, but yeah.
It's encyclopedia.
Just tell us a little bit about the journey, how you became so interested in clear aligner therapy, what happened with Align, and just give us the story.
A nice way of telling us to shut up, Jeff.
Shut the F up, to be
specific.
At least I know who the politically correct one is, so I know which is my safe box.
Yes.
No, Jen, thank you for that incredibly warm and generous intro. I'm a little bit surprised, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I look forward to meeting this speaker. But so as Jen pointed out, I did in fact graduate dental school, and it did in fact only take me 4 years, which was really a little bit of a miracle. After dental school, I was pretty assured of a few things in my own mind of what I wanted to do in my career. So I set off and I did my hospital-based residency in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where I learned all kinds of oral surgery, implants, trauma surgery. I saw stuff. And
other body parts that are not included.
Oh, no, I saw all kinds.
Were you on the pit?
Oh, I might have been.
No, that was in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I might have been.
Pennsylvania. That's
but
Pittsburgh.
I saw things and nope. So like I played real doctor. I did my ER rotation. I had like a stethoscope with my name on it and everything. Like I really thought I wanted to do like real doctor stuff. fast forward a little bit. I don't do oral surgery anymore. I think I took one tooth out last year, so that definitely didn't stick. When in dental school, I also was fairly confident that orthodontics wasn't for me because that was the top end of the class, which clearly wasn't me. And I justified that to myself as I didn't want to bend wires. That was nerdy. That's not really fun. And that was kind of how I went about my life. Public speaking definitely would not have been in my bingo card either. Finished my residency. I worked in a few different offices, associated, worked with my dad part-time. We have a small 5-op practice. And it was probably easily 10 years into practice. And I go in to do a hygiene check. You know, I'm waiting on patient in room 1 to get numb to do my number 31 DO composite that I'm going to get 24 cents for from the insurance company on the patient that doesn't get numb, and also reminds me that they're paying my car payment for the month with this number 31
Your
DO.
boat.
Right. Yeah, we're not really near water here, so it'd probably be more like an airplane. So I go in, and longtime patient, and I am, you know, you want to get to know me, I am the jealous type. So I walk in and I kind of see the aligner sitting on the bracket tray, and I sit down, ask the patient what's new, how's things going, and then she starts going on and on about this orthodontist who's doing her Invisalign and how much she loves him and how great it is. And literally, because my filtration system doesn't kick in quick enough sometimes, I look her square in the eyes and I'm like, what about me? Like, you've been my patient for 10 years. I've done a lot of stuff too. And she kind of brushes me off. So I do the next logical thing as a dentist, and I look in her mouth and I think to myself, I definitely didn't pay attention during my week of orthodontics in dental school, but this doesn't look that messed up. I should probably be able to do this. And that was really my intro into orthodontics. I was like, I should do this because I think I should be able to do this. Got certified and started a couple cases and had genuinely no clue what I was doing. Don't tell those patients that, because they are all still patients. And it was a bit of an experiment and a bit of a learning curve. And I, you know, Jen, like we were talking before, if I'm going to start doing a procedure in my office, I'm going to know it 100% before I start doing it, which is problematic and challenging. So, you know, I survived those first couple of cases without getting sued and nobody lost a tooth. So then I pulled back because, like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. And then slowly started to take more education and dive deeper into it. And I realized a couple of things. Number one, the digital aspect of this, which is a huge piece of my practice and has always been a huge piece of my practice, is so powerful and makes this really so immersive, both for patient and provider, that it's not something that should be complicated or clinically scary to approach. So I've spent many years and many hours of lectures going through cases and learning how to approach cases and learning how to program clin checks and really understanding and in my practice, it's mostly adult orthodontics. What is the goal of adult orthodontics? What am I trying to accomplish? And realizing and understanding what those goals are and how we can accomplish them efficiently is really the secret to it. And over the last probably about 2 years, I would say, with some of the ClinCheck service stuff that I've done, I think I've programmed, Jen, roughly 6,000 ClinChecks in the last 2 years, give or take. So I spend a lot of time in front of my computer tinkering with the software. And what's beautiful and magical about it to me is once you understand it and once you get how it works, it is so powerful and it is so quick and it lets you be involved in treatment, and it lets me treat patients and be that guy they're excited to see for the most part, right? I don't stick them in the face with a needle. I'm not missing a block because I don't need one. There's really not much stress into this. I'm not hunched over patients all day. And I had a patient, you know, I was thinking about this podcast obviously for the last week, but specifically today in my office, I had a patient in the chair. She's on aligner number 8. And the power isn't the smile transformation in her. The power is her jaw literally stopped hurting once we started treatment. Like, it's making that difference for patients and understanding the magic and the power of what you can do with literally a simple piece of plastic has really just gotten me to dive deeper and deeper and deeper into this kind of digital darkness and kind of digital ecosystem where everything just lives in there, and the restorative that comes out of it, and the restorative that comes out of it and works and functions, because now we're working on teeth that are functional, has really been a game and practice changer for me, for sure. So that's sort of where I ended up. I do remember the first time I spoke to anybody in front of a group of people about clear aligners. It was in Virginia, and one of the reps called me up and said, "Hey, I hear you're doing X, Y, and Z, and you understand ClinChecks. Do you want to do a full day lecture for me on Invisalign?" Which I'd never really spoken before. So I'm immediately like, this is amazing. Somebody wants me to speak. Yes. And I remember hanging up the phone and immediately thinking to myself, crap, what did I just agree to do? Because a full day is a lot of hours. And I remember that lecture very vividly. And I talked to the rep who's no longer with Align probably a year or two ago. This is many years after that. And he was very quick to remind me that I was terrible at that lecture. So we've grown, and we've learned how to use the plastic, and I've learned how to really make it less scary, I think, for a lot of providers. And that's what I've spent a lot of time doing, is figuring out how to translate this digital matrix into digestible segments so that every dentist can be providing this service for their patients, because I believe in it to the depth of my being when it comes to general dentistry. And I think we're set up to treat these cases as well as anybody else's.
All right, I have 5 quick things. The first is internet service in Maryland sucks.
Okay. That's fair.
I'm teasing.
It's Verizon.
The second is I want our audience to know how many podcasts you've been on.
This is number 1. So this is my first podcast. And I think really why I'm on it is as Jen said, we're really newfound friends. And the minute, obviously, every newfound friend you get, you like Google search them. So I saw she had a podcast, and I was all like, shoot, there it is. I'm in. So I've been begging her for the last 2 years to be on this podcast.
Dude, everybody who has a podcast, get this guy on. He's awesome. Okay. The third thing is that this podcast, you don't have to say crack and shoot. You can say crap and shit. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Fourth thing is your Invisalign knowledge is incredible. But the real question, now that we're getting to the meat of the story, is I have a big question that revolves around ClinChecks. Okay.
Yes, I love it.
So
there's nothing I love more than a ClinCheck.
Nowadays, you send a case in for a ClinCheck, and if you sign up for the TPS, you get like this ClinCheck, and then all of a sudden, like all this shit starts happening, and all this I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry, Align, but all this stuff starts happening, and then you get this real ClinCheck. Who is behind TPS, and what is actually going on with that? Is that a fair question to ask?
Yeah, so it's a little bit like the Wizard of Oz, right? Man behind the curtain kind of situation. So TPS, the treatment planning service platform, is something that was introduced, I think, probably 2.5 years ago. I think there are 10 or 15-ish providers in North America at this point. So you can hop into the marketplace. We're all there. And what's beautiful about that, and kind of what I wish I had when I was first starting out, is the support that I'm able to provide to these doctors. So I finish a certification course or an onboarding course. Those doctors then, via Align's programs, get some TPS cases with me. So you get your ClinCheck back, you look at it and you go, shit, I don't know what to do with this. That tooth is flipping upside down. This one's doing a pirouette. Like, how do we get this programmed so that it is less than 127 aligners? Which, fun fact, it can't be. You cannot get more than 99 aligners in a case.
Oh, so that's good to know, actually.
Max is 99. But then you
with
have
the refinement or with no refinement?
No refinement per like round. 99.
Yeah. Have you ever had 99?
So the closest, I just got back the longest case I've ever gotten back, which God, don't tell him that I'm airing out his medical history, but it's my kid, so I give consent. I just got back my son's ClinCheck. It's 78 aligners.
78?
Yeah, and that's not, it's yes. Yeah. We'll get there. I'm going to send it to you for TPS.
I hope there's a Marpy included then.
So one of the things that I wish is that, you're talking about aligners, and I'm going off on a tangent here, and I apologize. I kind of wish that there was a fault in the system that would say, hey, this is not the way that you want to do it. This is the way that you should do it. Like, because you talk to people that have like 78 aligners, and then you talk to people that have 6. And it's like, what are your parameters like, and how often do you request people to change aligners or suggest that people change aligners?
Yep.
And let's kind of go down to that. I mean, this could go on all night, and I don't intend for it to, but I think
so. There are a couple things to unwrap there. So number one, and I'll even broaden it. I've seen some clin checks that have come back from Align, and it's just like, what are we even doing here? Like, this is not the right case. This isn't this is surgery, like jaw issue surgery.
Yep.
So the answer to your question, why doesn't Align have a fault there, is actually very simple to answer. Align is and will always be doctor-led treatment, which means they cannot make those decisions for you.
Sure.
Which is fantastic, but also simultaneously, in some cases, terrifying.
Detrimental to certain providers.
Because there are no guardrails, but it will always be and forever doctor-led. So I think a lot of the misconception there comes, and I hear it all the time, well, why can't Align just set the case up correctly? Well, the answer is, when you send something and a case to your lab, do you expect them to read your mind? That's all. Align is a lab. They are a technology lab. So we have to look at it from that standpoint. Now, case selection, again, it varies so widely by provider. For me at the moment, I am treating class 1 teenagers because straightforward, and I'm treating adults. Outside of that, other than my children, I'm really not quite there yet. I would like to be, because again, kids are fantastic to treat when it comes to plastic, and it works. But understanding the parameters, and it's really understanding occlusion and going back to dental school and thinking about everything we learned from functional occlusion and applying it. When I teach, the analogy that I like to give is, all this ClinCheck it's your digital denture setup. So it's just like when you were waxing teeth in dental school. That's all we're doing here. We're putting them digitally into the correct spot, and we're moving forward. So you have to understand functional occlusion, which, again, I think most GPs have at least some understanding of occlusion. So we should be able to extrapolate from that, where we're starting, where we have to go, how reasonable or predictable it is. Align also has endless numbers of tools on their platform built into the iTero, built into that ecosystem that help with that diagnosis. You can get an Invisalign Go case assessment via just iTero. So you get a scan, you send it off to them. Now, I'm not using Go in my practice, but for doctors who haven't done a lot of cases, if a case comes back and it says you're go for Go, that means this case is going to be predictable. Now, I can still treat it comprehensive and maybe do some more movement than I would have gotten out of Go, but it at least gives me the clue that this is a case where, hey, I'm going to be okay. This case will treat out predictably. And if you get back this may not be a Go case, then you can start to peel the layers back. Well, why is it saying this? Which things? And it'll tell you exactly which concerns, crowding, overjet, open bite, whatever it is that's triggering that warning. And then you can go back and decide, is this really something that I don't want to tackle? Is it too big of a problem? Is it something that really isn't part of our chief complaint? So you can use that to start really deciphering down. And all that stuff is built right into that iTero, which every patient that comes through my office is getting scanned anyway because of the tools that are available. So the tools are all there. It's just a matter of using them and unlocking them.
I love what you said, man, because, I think the biggest thing for users is knowing their limitations.
Yeah.
And for me, by the way, what bourbon are you drinking?
Old Forester.
Love it. Love it. So one of the biggest things for me is I know my limitations, and I know what I want to do in my practice, and I know what I don't want to do in my practice. But for a lot of practitioners, if it's not an easy case in Invisalign Go, then maybe it's something that you should take a class and learn a little bit more on.
Yeah.
Or refer it out. And I think it's a great segue and a great starting point for a lot of practitioners.
Well, and I think honestly, I think so. It's a bit deeper than that even. So I'm big on semantics for whatever reason. So there's no such thing as an easy Invisalign case, because I don't know about your patients, but today was one of those days. Like, my patients are never easy. Like, easy doesn't exist. What we want are predictable. And quite frankly, the problem is most people don't know. And I'll tell you, the cases that I lose sleep over aren't the ones that I referred that now that I realize what I can do, I could have done. It's the cases that I've kept that I shouldn't have. So starting with cases that you know are going to be home runs, like, start with a layup. Just start moving teeth, and then you grow. And that's what I've done over the years. The first handful of cases, I tell you what, my mom was proud of me. She thought I was like a for real orthodontist. I was moving tooth number 25, like a half a millimeter.
Yeah.
Boom. Orthodontics. And you slowly grow out from there. And there's tons of support. And I think that's the biggest thing, is lean into the support. Don't be embarrassed by it. The TPS platform, when I answer my TPS ClinChecks, it comes back with these are the changes I've made. This is why I've made these changes. So it's really a on-the-job training with the ability for you to learn how to progress, or it's a way to outsource that ClinCheck. So that way you get back something that you know is predictable, and we can give you tips on just how to track the case. So it takes one of the pieces of the equation off the table that you don't have to figure out right out of the gate. And it keeps your patients, which is almost the bigger challenge, in that safe space. Because what happens is patients have a case that doesn't track. Patients say Invisalign doesn't work. Then the doctor says Invisalign doesn't work. And it's not Invisalign that's the problem. It's the way the case was set. So,
question, and I'm sorry, I'm done after this one. I promise I'll let you all ask questions. But I got a great question here for you. When you do a TPS case, I know we've got HIPAA. Do you know who the doctor is that's prescribing that case?
Yeah. So I see doctor's name, Clin
Have
ID.
I been tagged as the dumbass yet?
You've never sent a case to me. Apparently, you don't trust me with your ClinChecks. That's cool. We had that one brief moment in Costa Rica, and I never see you again.
I go through TPS because I want the masterminds behind it. I truly do.
But you get to choose your provider. You know that, right?
Well, dude, you're doing every one of mine now.
How
the hell do I do that? I don't know.
Person for you,
Corey. Can we call?
Yes. We'll get you there.
Can I get your digits when this is over?
We'll get you there.
AF. All right, we're done.
Can I want to just, Jeff, and then I know you're chomping, so I want to add one extra layer to the TPS that I think is really important. When we lecture and kind of talk to other doctors and stuff, like, there's the expertise and the, like, wanting to understand ClinCheck, and Corey, as well as many others who have tried. That's not a small undertaking to, like, understand. And then the minute you figure it out, Align changes buttons, moves things around, like innovates or whatever. I also want to recognize that TPS is also kind of a freedom unlock for those people who want to do Invisalign in their practice, but to do ClinChecks means staying extra hours afterwards to process and, like, figure all that out. Like, it's okay to leverage third-party vendors who are really good at their job to help facilitate your ability to do orthodontic treatment for your patients. Because at the end of the day, as a working mom, I'm looking for vendor partners and TPS providers and other things that I trust, that will help me get from point A to point B without me having to spend another 15 hours of CE, continuing education, learning biomechanics of plastic and all the attachments. And then the minute I figure it out, but also it's time, to your point, Corey, of sitting in front of a computer when I could be doing something different. So there's the mechanical piece of it of, can you manage it? Can you not? But then there's also, like, it's actually still okay to leverage a TPS provider as a freedom unlock to say, I want to do ortho, but I don't want to spend an extra 2 hours a day doing it.
I think that's a perfectly legitimate use for the platform. I have plenty of doctors that are just outsourcing their ClinChecks to me because, again, they know what they're getting back. It comes back set up, and then they can treat their patients. It's your patient. Treat your patient. Patient wants to be treated by you. Listen, Jen, you and I were talking about a restorative case earlier today. There is no shame or foul in talking to other doctors about cases and getting the expertise and guidance to make sure your patients have the experience that you want them to have. And this platform allows all of that. And it is just so easy and seamless. And Chad, to kind of double down on what you said earlier, the TPS platform, the reason that HIPAA is okay there is it is all still behind the Align digital wall. So for me as a TPS provider, if I get into your case, I have to use my Align credentials to get into the account, and I literally have access to that one case. So it's all HIPAA and all the other stuff compliant and safe for me to see and have that information, and it's all in the T's and C's and fine print and stuff in there.
No, I know that's all safe. I just was curious.
Yeah.
I want to add one more piece to this because having done orthodontics for a long time now.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
No, I'm just glad you're able to
talk. I thought maybe I'd join the conversation.
Yeah.
Hey, no, the one thing that I will say and the power behind having another clinician look at it who has done a lot of these is when you begin doing orthodontics, it's not about what you see, it's about what you don't see. Mm-hmm. It's about it's not necessarily where are the teeth and where do I want them. It's really about why aren't the teeth where they were supposed to be in the first place? Because those are the things that make your cases unpredictable, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to be that lateral tongue thrust, or it's going to be a blown out joint on one side that has everything canted the other way. And anybody can create a ClinCheck and tell them, hey, I want this tooth here because that's where it belongs. But it's the things that won't allow that tooth to ever get there that really get in the way of good orthodontics. And that's why I think the power of having experts that have done a lot of these ClinChecks and have seen so many of them say, listen, I know it looks like it should work, but here's why it may not, and here's a better way to go about it. And to Jen's point, there's no shame in that when you haven't done a lot of cases.
There's none. Listen, there are plenty of procedures where I use my lab to reline or retrofit to the All-on-X because that's what they do. So leveraging people who have the experience, I think makes it more fun because clear aligners, Invisalign's fun. This digital platform's fun. These are enjoyable procedures for me, for the patients. So making sure that procedure is a positive one for the patient, I think is crucial.
How do you feel about posterior open bites?
I never get them, obviously. Duh. Duh. Now, listen, it's like any procedure in dentistry, right? Dentistry is an imperfect, perfect science. And you do enough ortho, you're going to have a posterior open bite. And I'll tell you, the ones that I get typically to what we were saying, typical to what Jeff was saying is I know it's coming, right? I know the problems. I know what we're facing.
Yeah.
And I already know that's where I'm going to land. So when you tell the patient that day one, yeah, I look smart. When you don't tell the patient that day one, you're like, no problem. We can fix this. You're going to be done in like 4 months. And then 10 months later, they're in refinement number 3. That's where the problem comes in, right? And when I first started out, I fell into that death cycle of I have to be able to do this fast. I have to be done on the first shot. And what I've learned is patients prefer honest over that. So we're done when we're done. These are the challenges that we're going to face. And the challenges aren't my fault. It's your face. These are your teeth. You're giving me what I have to work with. So here's what we're going to encounter. But it's all right there. And it's not hard to see once you know how to look for it.
I think,
and a lot of those posterior open bites are very predictable. Like you
100%.
almost know that they're coming. You're just waiting for that mandible to auto rotate once you open everything up.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
95% of the open bites that come across my TPS virtual desk are anterior interferences, which come from one of 2 places: either failed intrusion, we didn't leave enough clearance in the anterior, or crowding cases. The minute you unrattle that crowding, that jaw screams for joy and freedom and shoots forward.
Comes forward.
So you lose that space. So for everybody listening, clinical tip number 1 for the day is if you want to avoid posterior open bites, Chad, you paying attention? Avoid posterior open bites. Damn it. We'll call later.
He uses TPS.
Yeah. If you want to avoid open bites, leave that clearance in the anterior. And that really makes a huge, huge difference. But planning for it and knowing it's coming is key.
Well, restorative doctors have a unique advantage that orthodontists don't have as much, or at least I don't see them leveraging as much. They know that the anterior constriction is coming, but I can leverage that and say, just a little bonding will fix that. Because I have the tools to move the teeth, but I also have the tools to solve whatever constriction or thing may be coming my way.
Yeah.
So it's actually a really easy conversation to say, I hear you and I know what you want, but to do it right, this is what it's going to take. And what freedom comes with that.
100%. It's 100%. And again, so that look at the platform now. What is the platform? The platform is plastic, but the platform also allows you to program that restorative. So I can build the restorative into the plan so that the patient understands it. And I can text with my thumbs. I can communicate with my thumbs on the computer screen. So now I don't actually have to use words, but you can show the patient in their mouth the why behind these changes. Smile Architect, Outcome Simulator Pro, all of these things that you can pull up on a screen in a matter of minutes in front of your patient. Again, for me, a lot of this restorative work that comes from Invisalign, while it is cosmetic in nature, is driven and dictated by function.
Mm-hmm.
And when the patient understands that, number 1, they're more likely to say yes, which is great. But number 2, they understand why I'm suggesting what I'm suggesting. And what the Align Digital Platform and what iTero and the communication that I can now convey to the patient with iTero has done, I don't get those, you're just trying to buy a boat, or why are you suggesting this to me? They leave. They may not say yes, but they at least deep down understand why I'm suggesting the stuff that I'm suggesting, because there's no curtain of secrecy in my office. This is your mouth. This is what's happening. I'm telling you what I see. And that's where we are. So it becomes very non-confrontational, very just matter of fact. This is what's there. But the digital technology, and almost to the opposite end of the spectrum, I think it helps bridge those gaps and bridge that communication gap, and allows patients to see and understand from a very different level what I'm trying to explain to them.
I love something you just said, and I'm sorry if I'm cutting anyone off here, because
No,
I
you're
think
good.
that may be the most important thing that you've said all night, which is that many of these cases truly are for function, and it is much easier to tell somebody, we're doing this to make you better. We're not doing this to make you prettier. We're doing this to make you better. 90% of the orthodontic cases that I treat, I mean, outside of my adolescence, and even a lot of them, I'm treating to a functional endpoint.
100%.
But 90% of the cases that I treat are to serve a functional endpoint that makes them function better. And patients get that. There is nothing to sell when you approach it from that standpoint. So I love that you said that.
I can't tell you how quickly I switch the patient who comes in for that I don't like my smile consult from, I'm glad you don't like your smile, here's why I don't like it, and we go straight into function, and the side effect is the aesthetics that comes from it. And
you're absolutely right.
It just makes it it's such an easy sell. Now I'm telling you as a doctor, you need this, and here's why you need this, and you as a patient want this. So when I have a patient that wants something that they're having a hard time justifying, and I tell them why they actually need it, it just becomes easier. Everything becomes easier. And the patients that don't say yes at first, they usually come back, and I usually get to say my 4 favorite words. Those are them. I told you so. Yeah.
I like those too.
It's just making sure the patients understand. I always describe myself to my patients as the quarterback of their care. I'm not here to make decisions for you. I'm here to make good decisions with you. And that's what this does.
I just hid Jennifer from this because that's a conversation that I have with my wife. It's a want versus need conversation. Sorry. Now she's back.
I thought that was my internet that
I need to get on the phone with Ellen. Excuse me.
Actually, I I have a touch screen computer and I accidentally hit her, but I was like, oh, this is a good time.
That's good.
So, hey, Corey, this has been a really spirited conversation. It's been amazing. We have come to the end, but I want to have a real quick speed round. And the first question that I want to ask you is, why Invisalign? There are so many other clear aligner companies out there. Why Invisalign?
Honestly, the short answer to that, it works. It works better than the others, right? Track record and history. They have the data and the analytics to prove what they're doing. The material is more comfortable to the tune of.
There you go.
So with aligners in, and it works. It's comfortable. It's a good experience for my patient, and it works for every case. And I've used other products. I started with other products, and I'm here and I will never leave because it's the best on the market, and I like things that are the best.
For those of you wondering, he has done the entire show. I had no idea with his aligners in. None of us had any idea. And the thing is that it does not affect speech.
Sure doesn't.
Second question, why iTero?
Oh, God. So iTero is the second scanner brand in my office also. And I'll tell you, and I was hesitant to it. When I brought Lumina into the office, I was like, here we go, another scanner that's really not going to change anything. And it does. It scans light years faster and more accurately and with more ease than any other scanner I've used. I've done cases that are just mind-boggling. I just delivered a prototype all on X. The entire case was done with Sprint Ray and iTero. No photogrammetry, straight digital scanning, and it drops right in. So the accuracy for veneer margins, the accuracy for implants, the accuracy for multiple implants, the fact that everybody in my office can scan and use it with very little training is key. And having been in this field now for longer than a new dentist, the fact that the wand's a little lighter helps out the old wrists a little bit. But just the speed and accuracy of it has been honestly surprisingly impressive from what I thought it would have been. So I would, there are a handful of pieces of equipment in my office that I would fight to the death for, which would be unfortunate because I'd probably lose, but that'd be one of them.
All right. Last question. I want to learn more about how to be proficient in Invisalign therapy. Where should I go?
So easiest answer to that is Invisalign does workshops all across the United States. If anybody is listening to us today from Dallas, Texas, I will be there tomorrow and Friday. But we do Invisalign treatment planning workshops. Yeah, we were going to talk about that on that phone call. I'm like in your backyard.
Dude.
I'm at the Colony tomorrow and then somewhere else Friday.
What are you doing tomorrow night?
Study club.
After the study club, Corey, he's asking you out on a date.
Yeah, he's asking you on a date.
Jeez.
Listen, it's been a long time, okay? Been off the dating market.
You a text.
Take a hint, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, listen, we went on a date once in Costa Rica, and then I never heard from him again. I took a hint.
I know. It was the monkey.
Yeah. So
no flowers, no pillow talk, nothing.
Treatment planning workshops. That's
how Chad rolls.
We go through
Actually,
cases.
I thought it was CDI, Corey. I thought it was CDI.
CDI also, but only when the Dr. Bell, Dr. Anolik combo are there. That's where the real fire happens. But talk to your rep. Your rep has tons of resources and good courses that are being given across the U.S. that focus specifically on that, ClinChecks and treatment plans. And there is really nothing more I enjoy talking about than ClinChecks. So come spend a day. We'll have some fun and do ClinChecks. Don't you fall asleep on me, Jennifer Bell. ClinChecks are awesome.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, this was wonderful. I want to thank Align for tonight. I want to thank you for being here. You just are a wealth of knowledge, and we really appreciate you. And we hope to have you back one day to do this again.
Anytime. Maybe it'll be my second podcast.
And second podcast. Yes,
I would be honored. This was definitely the most fun podcast I've ever been on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Todd Billy.
That means a lot.
Yeah. If you two go on a date tomorrow and you fall in love with Chad more than me, we will have words.
See, I can't respond to that because I don't have touchscreen or the power to make people's heads disappear off the screen. But wait, no, that. Ooh,
I do.
Chad, that's scary. Scary. He did that. Not me.
Oh, I love it. I love logging in under Jennifer's account and being able to
I
do
love
that.
watching my worlds collide.
Yeah.
And to my own demise. It's really beautiful.
Never. Jen, you're irreplaceable in my heart.
See, he's very competitive, guys. Damn it, Chad.
All right, everybody. Have a great evening.